times their size and eating them alive. For almost 40 million years, the family of the dog has been built for the kill. They inhabit every continent except Antarctica. Across Asia, Africa, the Arctic, South America. The exquisitely designed predator that is the dog takes many killing forms. But the kindred spirit that gave rise to Canis familiaris, our beloved companions, is the wolf. Every single breed of domestic dog, large and small, swift and not so swift, hard-working and merely decorative, is a descendant of Canis lupus, the grey wolf. Perhaps our hunter-gatherer forebears admired the wolf for its likeness to them. Traveling in bands of hunters who work together to bring down prey large enough to feed the whole group. To this day, humans have tapped into the domestic dog's wolfish characteristics to serve our own ends. Even the instincts of the gentlest herding dogs are believed to be modified versions of the wolf's genetic programming to hunt. While the wolves that threw their lot in with humans prospered, the wild wolves became pariahs to many. Today, there are tens of millions of dogs in the world and some 120,000 wolves. Perhaps because the wolves wanted what we wanted, big game. But the wolves that survive today remain completely built for the kill, from nose to tail. The wolf's nose is extraordinarily acute, recognizing and analyzing hundreds of thousands of chemical traces that no human can sense. It can smell prey up to 2 kilometers away. Its sense of hearing is equally acute. Large pointed ears gather faint sounds from great distances, and the skull is designed with large cavities that amplify sound. Under ideal conditions, the wolf can hear prey moving over 16 kilometers away. But there is another weapon at work here. Its skull is designed to house a large brain with a complex cerebral cortex. It's this brain, some 30% larger proportionately than that of a domestic dog, that plays a key role in the wolf's closely coordinated style of hunting, its intricate ways of communicating, and its extremely social lifestyle. Are led by an alpha pair who enforce a strict hierarchy. Younger siblings and grown pups of the alpha pair come next in the pyramid of power. Then come the pups of the season. Serious fighting is rarely necessary to maintain the social order. The wolf's complex range of body language usually does the trick. On the Northern American continent, where the first member of the dog family made its appearance some 37 million years ago, the grey wolf makes its home. Sometimes grey in name only, the wolf can be almost black. And in the far north, its coat is often white. hunt often begins with a rousing group howl. Howling notifies members of the group to gather. It also warns other wolves to keep off the pack's territory. Remarkably, nearby herds of prey seem to pay no attention to the haunting call to arms of the great predator. The body of the wolf is built for both endurance and speed. Unlike members of the cat family, who tend to ambush prey, the wolf is made for the long haul. Its limbs are long and sturdy, and its loping style of attack can play out over miles and hours. Powerfully muscled hind limbs provide bursts of speed of up to 45 kilometers per hour. While tough, non-retractile claws provide traction. Those big paws can splay out as the wolf runs, allowing it to run on the surface of crusted snow, while its victim's thin hooves crash through. The hunt itself is carefully coordinated, usually by one of the alpha pair, the older, more experienced hunters. Lower-ranking members of the pack take turns testing prey animals by sprinting after them, looking for any sign of weakness or fatigue, while others lope along, conserving energy for the final sprint. During the chase, predator and prey actually communicate with each other. This head-up, high-stepping trot is the elk's way of telling the wolf, "Look how strong and fit I am. I don't even need to gallop away from you, so don't bother coming after me." This gait is called stotting. Remarkably, though, the wolves know when the elk are lying. Sensing vulnerability, they press their advantage and make the kill. Once a wolf latches on, powerful facial muscles go to work, holding 5-centimeter long canine teeth in a vice-like hold. Wolves have 42 teeth, all dedicated to the processing of meat. Specialized molars and premolars, called carnassials, have evolved to shear and mash flesh. Matters of hierarchy are strictly enforced during feeding time. The alpha pair feed first. Grey wolves can consume nearly 10 kilos of flesh at a sitting. But with a pack this size, it won't last long. And soon the synchronized killing will begin again. Helping them come to terms with their place in the hierarchy of the pack. It's a long growing up period, and the scenes of puppy raising. The red fox's dazzling specialty, the aerial attack. First order of business, locate the invisible. Its keen ears, specially attuned to low-frequency sound, can pinpoint the rustling of a hidden rodent to within 1 degree. Once locked onto its target, the red fox launches its spectacular assault, propelling itself upward with its hind legs. These are larger proportionately than the hind limbs of any other wild dog. If it's going for distance, the red fox takes off at a 45-degree angle and can cover 5 meters. But needing extra height and force to punch through crusted snow, it can take off at a remarkable 80-degree angle. The red fox is also lighter than comparably sized cousins, helping it to achieve maximum airtime. And in mid-air, the fox flails its tail to steer last-minute course corrections. Then it makes a precision landing, pinning a hapless rodent. Many of the canines take predatory flight, and even many of their larger lupine cousins are quite adept at the acrobatics of mousing. But none so splendidly as the red fox. The top of the world is a brutal place for life. There's no love lost between wild dogs of different species, or even different families. A startling cause of death for wild canines is often wild canines. Against the backdrop of Yellowstone National Park, a place of spectacular beauty, a real High Plains American drama is unfolding. Here, the geothermal wonders of a volcanic hotspot play host to a splendid diversity of wildlife. And here, for millennia, the coyote lived in the shadow of the wolf. About half the size of its big cousin, with a relatively sharper snout and larger ears, the coyote is less likely to form packs and more likely to live as a scavenger and hunter of small things. But then, for 60 years, the wolf disappeared from Yellowstone. Shot, poisoned, and trapped into extinction. And the coyote stepped into the void. Taking on the ways of the top dog, the coyote began forming large packs with strict hierarchies, coordinating its hunt to bring down the big prey of Yellowstone. Those were glorious times for the smaller predator. But in 1996, all that changed. Then came the return of the wolf. No one knew what would happen when Canadian grey wolves were reintroduced into the park by biologists, hoping to restore the ecosystem to an old order. What happened for most scavengers was an unmitigated bonanza. The wolves turned out to be spectacularly suited to life in the park, leaving a trail of carcasses in their wake. Some wolves proved relatively tolerant of coyotes at their kills, but some did not. In the depths of winter, this hungry coyote cannot resist the lure of an elk carcass. He checks the landscape. The wolves, full and drowsy, seem to pose no threat. Little does he know that this one wolf, the alpha female of the pack, is infamous for coyote killing. She has even assassinated other wolves from rival packs. She stalks him as she would any prey. Taking her lead, others in the pack begin to circle the hungry and oblivious coyote. The coyote is doomed. Adult coyote numbers have fallen by half in the parts of Yellowstone where the wolf has been reintroduced. But their pup survival rate is actually up. But this is an old tale. Wherever canine species come up against each other around the world, bloodshed results. Wolves kill other wolves. Foxes kill foxes. Jackals kill bat-eared foxes, and so on up and down the food chain. It's just another way that nature assures that her top predators are fit enough to survive in a harsh world. Whether running down prey together with the relentless precision of a killing machine on the plains of North America or Tanzania, soaring high in the lonely attacks of the aerial assassin, braving the harsh white blasts of the top of the world or the parched expanses of southern Africa, or dueling to the death, the wild canines of the world are endlessly adaptable and ingeniously built for the kill.